Yo, it's Hump Day. Wednesday, October 12th.
Yes.
Man, today's stuff, it just seems like, what world are we living in? Tesla slipping in EV sales, Nissan lost a ton of money, and real-life Asteroids game. All I can think of, we'll get to that story. I want to talk about that story first because I just am flashing back to my childhood and that little triangle spaceship that at all costs you don't hit the jet and start moving that thing forward, because once you do that, it's
done.
over.
It's over.
It's over. Frantic.
That's so great. You're like, move the joystick. It's not going quick enough.
Once you hit the thrust button, it's done, because you can't really turn, right? You turn it, but you keep sliding because it's space.
You're done.
Because it's space. Oh, man. Oh, so we talked about this yesterday. One more time. We are going to be at the Modern Retail Conference in November at Brian Pash's event, running a creative track for all the people that are creative in the automotive industry that have always said, there's nothing for me. You can't say that anymore. We hope you will join us, ASOTU.com/MRC. Come hang out with me and Kyle and Darren Doan and Ali Pinion and Nathaniel Grecklick, because we're going to bring creative forces and juices all into the auto industry and send some creatives home ready to make some stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Got all pent up, got it ready to go. All right, we have three.
I'm ready for it.
What'd you say?
I'm ready for it. I'm ready to donut. I'm ready to get low. I'm ready to shoot wide. Ready to all of the things.
Slow-mo.
Lots of slow-mo.
Brand builds.
Who knows? Maybe we'll even
engagement.
get Paul to do a TikTok dance. Probably not.
That's going to be a challenge. That's going to be a challenge.
Probably not. It's all good.
You never know. You never know. You know what you should get? My daughters will be there. You can get them to convince me to do it. Sometimes they can. Sometimes they can get it going. Get it going. Oh man! All right, we got 3 stories today. We're gonna get right into it because it's Wednesday. People got things to do. It's the middle of the week. You got like we're not even halfway there actually. Okay, here we go. Tesla's share of the EV market is still dominant, but showing signs of slipping as figures show that their 79% ownership in 2020 slipped 10 points to 69.95 in 2021. And now factoring in all of the August numbers through August of this year, it looks like they're holding about 2/3. So 67% of the market.
Let me say something. Now, look, first of all, that's a massive part of the market. But let me say this. You know what we've been talking about for a hot minute as we talk about recession or the pandemic or inventory shortages? We've been talking about a big word when it comes to sales volume. It's actually 2 words: market share, and how important market share is, and gaining market share and finding market share and scooping up your portion of the market share. And so I think that OEMs are starting to play ball when it comes to market share in the EV space. So I'm excited.
They definitely are. Like, so the top 10 list of vehicles. So the top 3, you have Tesla at number 1, you have Ford at number 2, you have Hyundai at number 3. We have a list of the top 10 vehicles in the show notes. So 4 of those 10 are the Tesla 4 vehicles. The Y number 1, the 3 number 2. The Mustang Mach-E came into the 3rd best-selling EV.
That's pretty strong. That's kind of surprising to me. But is it early?
I was surprised.
Early-ish, but yeah, I'm still surprised.
Like the Bolt is coming on strong, right? We know the Ford Lightning. It's like really those are constrained by production. Ford and Hyundai, they've both taken massive strides as the year has gone on. Yep. So we'll see. I mean, Q4 could be a little bit of a position changer. I
still am mad. I'm just going to call this out. I'm still mad they called it a Mustang, because that is the ugliest Mustang I've ever seen.
If that's a Mustang, they should just call it a Mach-E.
That's all they
should have just called it the Mach-E. Because I guarantee you that no Mustang enthusiast got excited that you just did that.
Hey, look, gain some Mustang market share. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole new crowd right over there. A whole new crowd.
That is a special thing right there. It's a cool car though. I've ridden in one before. It's a cool car though. GM did recently announce that they are predicting a sizable increase in Bolt EV deliveries in Q4. So we'll see if Chevy's got it. Right now, they're at 11,788. And so if they really like bust it, they can probably make the top 5. We'll see.
I don't have to really bust it.
They would really have to. I mean,
speaking of busting it.
Stop. Segue. Time.
Which article are you going to here?
That's what I said. So
you might want to just jump to the last article. We'll circle back around.
It works for both of them. It works for both of them.
It kind of does.
We got to go for the second article at this point because it's like I'm hanging on a thread at this point. So Nissan is going to sell its entire stake in its Russian business to a state-owned entity for no B's, no M's, no nothings next to this euro.
One singular euro.
7 of a euro, taking a loss of
no. That's €1. That's 97 cents.
97.
Not even a whole dollar. They had to break some change.
They had to break a dollar.
Got my 3 pennies back.
They're going to take a loss of over $685 million to exit their Russian business interests. According to Reuters, the Japanese automaker transfers its share in Nissan Manufacturing Russia LLC to state-owned NAMI, N-A-M-I. It said the deal will give Nissan the right to buy back the business within 6 years, Russia's Industry and Trade Ministry said. So you can sell it for now for nothing, and good news is you can buy it back for a whole lot within 6 years.
I'm sure it will be full value plus.
They're going to get all the money's worth on that one if they're coming back for it, for sure.
This is definitely one of those stories where it's like the what world are we living in? What world are we living in story? Because it's like there was really no easy out. There've been a whole lot of like large scale major loss, major losses coming out of business sales or abandoning businesses in Russia because of the conflict, because of, the political situation. And what I think about is a digital dealer last year. We were at our at the Troublemaker conference, so the after party that we had that was attached to Digital Dealer, several of our fellow auto dealers from Russia who made the trip to Digital Dealer came up and said hi.
Wild.
And there was one guy who they called him the Russian Paul J. Daly, and he was a good 1.5 feet taller than me, but he had a hat and he had the beard, and I just think about like the millions of good people that are just like, think of our automotive brothers and sisters that are over there just trying to be in the car business. They love the car business. They're passionate about the car business.
Serving customers, and this is helping people gain freedom through purchasing
playing
vehicles,
from the same playbook,
all the same things.
Sitting in the same keynotes and the workshops and reading the automotive manifesto and thinking like, oh, how can we think brand first? How can we
taking website demos and working on pay-per-click ads and all of that stuff on a day-to-day basis. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of, the way this business deal came around is, I mean, not to make light of a bad situation, but it's comical, right? 97 cents and we'll let you buy it back. But the truth is, man, there's so much about this situation, especially like the retail auto family just breaks my heart. It's like, that's going on over there. And now just think about it. Like Nissan is selling. Nissan is no longer in charge. So I think of the conditions and what's going to happen.
State owned. Yeah. It's a state. It's probably,
I don't know if you heard, Kyle, but state run anything usually does pretty good. I'm just kidding. Not even in the US, right?
Pull up.
State owned, state run. No, I mean that.
It's true. It's true.
Changed my mind. That's one of those where you sit at the table. Changed my mind.
Yes,
changed my mind. Nissan deal was of great significance for the industry, said Russia's Industry and Trade Minister Denis Manturov. In a statement, Nissan is revisiting their alliance with Renault, who owns 43% of Nissan as a result of this, right? Everybody's kind of repositioning and, saying, okay, what's the plan now? And there's rumors that Nissan is going to invest in an EV venture that Renault is kind of spearheading. So even though Nissan's taking this one on the chin, they're definitely not out of the game. Nissan is saying, okay, like given the cards that were dealt, right? Like any good entrepreneur, any good business says, here are the cards, right?
And we didn't cover this, but like they're doing this really cool thing with, with optional mileage leasing in the US. So like they're staying innovative. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. It's just one of those things that comes up and you gotta play the hand you were dealt, no matter how big the blow is. Speaking
of big blows.
Of really, really big collisions.
Stop.
Segue.
Time.
I was just trying to remember what the segue. What did you say? What was your first segue into this one?
A bust. Bust.
Speaking of a bust.
All right. A bust. That's what it was.
Kyle, you asked me a question before we started the show. You said, I'm going to ask this question. You said, how far is too far when we talk about us trying to control the natural world?
Like, I have you ever seen the video? I think I've showed it to you before, where it's like it's all about the world, and there's this part where it's like, and things crashing into us.
Right.
Yes. What is the dang video? It's a goofy video from like, it had millions of views back in the 2000s, but that's the only thing I can think about. Meteors crashing into us, you know.
Right,
it's like,
right. What the heck was that? I don't remember. But basically, if you don't remember this from a few weeks ago when we talked about, NASA flew a spaceship into a big rock, into an asteroid that was actually orbiting another asteroid. Is that correct?
It's called, wait. It's called The Ends of the World.
Right. The Ends of the World. Right. Did you just remember that, or did someone feed that to you?
No. I found it. I knew what I needed to say.
Well, apparently 32 minutes is a really big deal when talking about outer space asteroid bumper cars, because when NASA flew this ship into this rock, it actually altered the orbit by 30 minutes on, what was it, a 12-hour cycle?
Yeah, it was like 11:55, and it's down to what, 11, whatever that is, 23 or something like that. Is the orbital cycle of this asteroid around whatever, I don't know exactly what it's orbiting around, but that's a pretty big deal. Like, you're talking 32 minutes in a 12-hour time span. If you had that back in your time of day, like, that asteroid's got he's got some time for lunch now, you know.
Well, NASA, I wish I had time for lunch. NASA was planning on only gaining about 10 minutes. They're like, hey, if we could alter this thing by 10 minutes, we'll be in really great shape. Came back at 32 minutes. You imagine that? Like, you're like watching it, right? Is it coming back around? 10 minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes. Like, did we blow this thing up? What happened here? Right. 32 comes back around, and this is a great.
You know what's crazy is this, I mean, this is a massive asteroid. Basically, the ship that crashed into it was the size of a refrigerator. Now, it was traveling at like 14,000 miles per hour. So that sucker was
terminal
moving,
velocity
right?
On that one, right?
Yeah. But like, for something the size of a refrigerator to take a massive asteroid, like, I don't know the size of it, but if you look at the pictures, you know that thing was way bigger than an old refrigerator. For it to move 32 minutes.
I love our scientific approach to measurement.
Old refrigerator. It was real big, and compared to that old refrigerator,
the other one was bigger than a refrigerator.
It wasn't really an F-250. It was more like an F-150, if you know what I'm saying, right?
You know, with those wimpy tires on, with the wimpy tires on it, right? Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. This is. I'm gonna tie this down real quick. You ready for this, Paul?
Please, because I'm flying around in the universe like that asteroid ship in the video game.
Well, so here's the thing: is when I think about like major organizations taking big plays and taking stabs at things, like what right now, and this is what we heard. Gentleman last name Nelson basically said it's our duty as NASA to protect the home planet, and so we know sometime down the future this may be a thing that happens, and so we're going to take steps right now to change the trajectory of what we can do in the universe, right? So as business planning goes, like, NASA's a business now. It's a public business, but as NASA is in that public sector, like, they're doing things right now to plan for a very broad future. And so I think we can take this and go, okay, look, whatever's in the future, whatever big thing, whatever asteroid is coming at us as the automotive industry, like, what minor shifts are we taking right now? What 32-minute things that might not seem like a big thing? What are we sweeping out? What are we figuring out right now, today, on Wednesday, October 12th, to go, how are we preparing, not just for now, the battle that we're going to be in today, the customers that we're going to serve, but what are we preparing for the future? Because, hey, that's what everybody's doing, is two hands in the dirt, two eyes on the sky. Let's go.
I like that. 2 hands in the dirt, 2 eyes on the sky, clouds in the dirt. We'll take that. Hey, look, if NASA can hit an asteroid that far out, you can at least review your Google Analytics today and make some progress.
Get 'em.